Magic never dies. It hides, it lingers in the shadows of forgotten streets, waiting for the right moment to rise again. For years, Waverly Place stood quiet, its secrets buried beneath laughter and memories. But peace never lasts where magic is born, and now a spark has been lit once more, a spark that will grow into fire. A fire that could consume both the magical world and the human one. The story begins in silence. New York streets are alive with their usual chaos horns blaring, footsteps rushing, lights flickering late into the night. Yet beneath this ordinary rhythm, something unnatural is stirring. For those who dare to look closely, the signs are already there. Street lamps glow when no one touches them, shadows stretch longer than they should, and whispers travel through the cold wind, carrying secrets no human voice dares to say. It has been many years since Alex Russo walked away from the life she once knew. She left behind battles, spells, mistakes, and victories. The magic was not supposed to follow her, but magic never obeys. It clings, it calls, it demands. And Alex, no matter how far she runs, has always been tied to it. The bond between a wizard and their power is eternal. Now, after years of trying to live a life beyond spells and wands, Alex feels it again. The dreams start, first visions of places she thought she'd forgotten. The old lair beneath Waverly Place, the glowing spell books she swore never to open again. The echo of her own voice chanting words she can't remember learning. In every dream, the same image repeats, a door standing in darkness, carved with ancient runes that burn brighter each night. Behind that door, something waits, something she does not want to face, but dreams are only warnings, and warnings can be ignored. At least, that is what Alex tells herself. She walks the streets of New York with her head low, trying to forget. She tries to lose herself in crowds, in music, in the noise of life. Yet, wherever she turns, the strange signs follow. A mirror cracks without reason. A store window fogs with words she did not write. And one evening, as she passes by the corner of Waverly Place, the air shifts. She feels it on her skin like the world itself holding its breath. That is when she hears the voice. It is not loud. It is not clear, but it is enough to stop her in her tracks. A whisper floats across the street, threading itself into the noise of the city. Alex, she freezes. No one else reacts. People keep walking, rushing past her as if nothing happened. But Alex knows that voice. It is the voice she has dreaded for years. Her heart races, though she tries to dismiss it as imagination. Yet deep down, she knows better. The magic is back, and with it something darker. For as she turns away, determined not to look back, the shadows on the wall do not follow her body. They move on their own, stretching upward, twisting into shapes that do not belong to this world. Faces flicker in the blackness, their eyes glowing faintly before fading away. She does not see them. Not yet. But the city has begun to change, and she will soon have no choice but to face what is coming, because far beyond New York, in realms unseen by ordinary eyes, an ancient power has awakened. It is older than the Russo family, older than the rules of wizard tournaments, older even than the first spell ever spoken. It is a power that was never meant to be touched, sealed away in the spaces between worlds, but seals weaken. And when they break, chaos follows. In the depths of that unseen realm, the door from Alex's dreams stands wide open now. Dark light pours out, spilling across the forgotten stones. From within, shadows crawl forward, searching for a path, searching for a host, searching for her. Alex Russo is not just being called back to magic. She is being hunted by it. The silence does not last. Magic never allows silence to last. As days bleed into nights, the city begins to bend. At first, it is subtle, an alley that leads to nowhere, suddenly stretching into a labyrinth. A child's toy floating gently in the air before crashing down as if nothing had happened. A mural of painted stars shifting, their colors flickering, like real constellations. To ordinary eyes, it seems like tricks of the mind, illusions created by exhaustion or stress. But Alex knows. She feels it deep in her chest, the rhythm of magic pulsing like a second heartbeat. She tries to ignore it. She tells herself she is not that girl anymore. the one who played recklessly with spells, who fought battles she was never meant to fight. But the more she resists, the stronger it pulls her back. Every refusal is answered with escalation. Her coffee cup boils over, though the flame is cold. Her reflection whispers words she cannot bear to hear. And one night, as she wakes from another dream of the door, she finds her wand long hidden and locked away, sitting at the foot of her bed. She never touched it. Yet it waits for her, glowing faintly as if it had walked there itself. But it isn't only Alex who feels the return. Somewhere deep in the magical underground, forces stir that have been waiting for this moment. Whispers spread through covens, through hidden bars where wizards still gamble with spells, through cloaked figures who gather in silence. The prophecy that was once dismissed as myth is finally making sense. When the last Russo steps away from power, the shadows will rise unchallenged. And when she returns, the war will begin. Alex doesn't know this prophecy. At least not yet, but she begins to feel the weight of something larger pressing down on her. People around her are no longer safe. The woman across the hall who always greets her disappears without a trace. A strange crack appears in the ceiling of her apartment, glowing faintly like molten fire. And one evening, as she walks home, the shadows make themselves known. It begins as footsteps. She hears them behind her, matching hers perfectly. She turns nothing. She continues, so do they, faster now. Her heart pounds, her breath sharp. Then the streetlights blink out, one by one, until she is swallowed in darkness. And in that darkness, the whispers return, louder this time, speaking in tongues she cannot understand. They do not call her name. They do not plead. They command. Her hands shake as she reaches into her coat. The wand is there, though she swore she wouldn't carry it. She doesn't remember putting it in her pocket. But now it feels alive, humming against her palm, urging her to lift it. The darkness curls closer, forming into something almost human. With arms and a face made of smoke, and for the first time in years, Alex utters a spell. The words fall from her lips without thought, like instinct awakened from sleep. Light bursts from the tip of the wand, slashing through the shadows. For a moment, silence returns, but it is not victory. It is only an invitation. The shadows scatter, retreating into cracks and alleys, but their laughter lingers, echoing in her ears long after they're gone. She knows this is only the beginning. That night, she cannot sleep. She sits at her table, wand in hand, staring at the city through her window. She remembers the life she left behind, the sibling rivalry, the tournaments, the lessons learned through mistakes. Those days feel like another lifetime, a softer story she can never return to. Now the air is heavy with something darker. The world has changed, and so has she. The next morning, the dreams return, sharper, louder, impossible to ignore. The door in the darkness swings open wider, and this time she sees what lies beyond it. A throne of black stone, a figure cloaked in shadows seated upon it. Their eyes glow crimson, fixed on her, watching, waiting. A voice cuts through the dream, low and certain. You cannot run, Alex Russo. You are the key. She wakes in a gasp, drenched in sweat, the words ringing in her ears. Her apartment is trembling, objects shaking from invisible forces. Books fly from shelves, glasses shatter, and the walls groan as if alive. It stops only when she grips her wand tighter, holding it close to her chest, as if it alone can shield her from what's coming, but she knows it cannot. The shadows are no longer patient. They will not wait. They have crossed into her world, and their hunger is endless. Alex Russo has been chosen, whether she accepts it or not. And deep inside, she begins to understand a truth she has feared all along. Magic never left her. It was always part of her. And now, that part of her may be the only thing standing between survival and ruin. Asterisk, the city does not return to normal. How could it? Once shadows crawl into the world, they never truly leave. Alex tries to pretend, for a fleeting moment, that this is temporary. That if she stays quiet, if she ignores the pull, if she hides her wand away once more, everything will fade. But the cracks are spreading. She sees them not only in walls and mirrors, but in people. Strangers walk past her with hollow eyes, their reflections lagging a second too late in the glass of shop windows. A man on the subway mutters spells under his breath without realizing it, his hands twitching with invisible sparks. A storm brews over New York, not of rain, but of whispers. It is then that the dreams shift. No longer is she simply standing before the door, now she is pulled inside. The throne looms closer, carved from stone that bleeds shadows. The cloaked figure is clearer now, no longer faceless but still hidden, their voice sharp and deliberate. You cannot escape me. The Russo name was written into the foundation of magic itself, and when you abandoned it, you left the world unguarded. Each time Alex wakes, her chest tightens with dread. She has faced enemies before, wizards, reckless creatures, challenges that tested her pride, but this is different. This is not a game or a contest. This is war creeping into every corner of existence. And for the first time, she feels what she never wanted to admit. She is afraid. The answer comes not from the dream, but from the waking world. One night, desperate for clarity, she returns to the one place she swore never to enter again. Lair beneath Waverly Place. Dust clings to the air, thick with the smell of old wood and candle wax. The spell books remain stacked high, their covers pulsing faintly like hearts that never stop beating. Her fingers trace the edges of one, and for a moment she is 16 again, reckless, curious, alive. But she is not that girl anymore. On the table, buried under papers and broken quills, she finds it. A page she does not remember writing, though the handwriting is hers. The words are uneven, scrawled in haste, but their meaning is clear. The Shadow King returns when the Russo bloodline falls silent. Only the Keeper may seal the door. Only the Keeper may decide the fate of both worlds. Her hands tremble as she holds the page. Keeper, the word digs into her like a blade. She has been chosen long before she had the chance to choose herself. The prophecy was never told to her because perhaps no one believed it would come to pass. Or perhaps they feared what she would become if she knew. But now there is no denying it. She is the Keeper. The key. The one who must face the throne in her dreams, not as an illusion, but as destiny. Yet destiny is a cruel companion. For as she reads, the lair begins to stir. The walls vibrate, spell books tumble, and from the darkness of the corners, figures emerge, shadows crawling, stretching, whispering. She lifts her wand instinctively, words flying from her lips, spells burning the air with light. But for each shadow she strikes down, two more rise. They swarm, surrounding her, pressing close. She fights, but the lair itself groans under the weight of their presence, as if the building itself fears collapse. Then, just as she begins to falter, a voice cuts through the chaos. Not the Shadow King, not the whispers, but something far more familiar. Alex! The shadows shatter like glass, retreating into corners, leaving silence in their wake. Alex gasps, spinning, wand raised, and there he is. Older now, but still unmistakable, her brother Justin Russo. His face is pale with worry, his eyes wide as he takes in the destruction. The sight of him nearly breaks her. Years of distance collapse in a heartbeat, yet there is no time for reunion. His voice is urgent, sharp with fear. You should have stayed away. It's starting again. Alex lowers her wand, breathless. You knew? Justin hesitates, and in that hesitation lies the truth he has always known. Perhaps not everything, but enough. Enough to fear this moment, enough to prepare. His silence is confirmation, heavier than any spoken answer. You can't fight it alone, he says at last. None of us can. The prophecy wasn't just about you, it was about all of us. If the door has opened, it means the Shadow King is already here, and he won't stop until he takes everything. The weight of his words crushes her. She wanted to believe this was only her burden, something she could lock away, a mistake she could fix in secret. But the truth is larger. This isn't just her fight. It never was. Still, Alex cannot shake the fear rising inside her. She remembers the laughter in the shadows, the crimson eyes fixed on her in every dream. The Shadow King does not want the world. He does not want the city. He wants her. And she knows, deep down, that whatever war is coming, she stands at the center of it. The lair falls silent again, dust drifting like snow in the flickering light. Alex looks at Justin, her voice steady despite the storm inside her. Then we start now. Because if magic has returned, if darkness has chosen this moment to rise, then so must she. The city no longer sleeps. Even when night falls, even when the streets quiet, there is a hum in the air, a vibration that rattles the bones of anyone who dares to stand still long enough to hear it. The veil between worlds is thinning, and New York carries the scars. Buildings crack as if their foundations reject reality itself. The sky flickers in flashes of violet and crimson, lightning that strikes without storms. And in the alleys where shadows once merely whispered, they now stand tall, bold, wearing faces twisted into mockeries of human form. Alex feels it everywhere. The magic is thicker now, clinging to her skin, seeping into every breath. She cannot walk the streets without sensing the power, without hearing the low chorus of voices calling her name. The Keeper. That is what they call her, over and over, with reverence and hunger, as though her existence alone were the key to their survival. She knows better. They don't revere her. They want to break her. Justin stays close, though she sees the fear behind his eyes. He masks it with logic, with books and spells, with explanations that almost make sense, but Alex knows the truth. He is afraid of what is coming, afraid of her place in it, and maybe most of all, afraid of what she might have to become to survive it. The prophecy hangs between them like smoke. The Shadow King waits. The door is open. The Keeper must choose. But choice is a cruel gift when every path leads to ruin. As the days bleed together, the visions consume her. She no longer dreams in fragments. She is pulled deeper, drawn across the threshold, standing again before the throne of shadows. Each visit lasts longer, each detail sharper, the jagged crown of the figure who sits upon it, the heavy chains that rattle at their feet, the burning crimson gaze that pierces through her very soul. The Shadow King no longer speaks in riddles. You are the last, Alex Russo. You are the thread that holds the weave. Break and everything falls. His voice coils through her mind, both a threat and an invitation. Join me, Keeper. The world does not deserve you. They never did. Together we can unmake this fragile order, build something greater. You were never meant to hide among mortals. You were meant to rule. The words burrow deep, clawing at wounds Alex thought long healed. The mistakes she made, the times she failed, the weight of never being enough. Now the Shadow King sharpens them into weapons. He offers her what she once craved, power without question, freedom without consequence. And in the darkest corners of her heart she feels the temptation, but temptation is fragile when weighed against memory. She remembers laughter, chaos, family. She remembers what it meant to fight not for herself, but for those who needed her. And even as the Shadow King's voice wraps around her, she whispers back into the dream, steady and unbroken. I am not yours. The throne shakes, the world within the dream quakes, and the Shadow King rises for the first time. Cloaked in darkness, towering, endless, he steps down from the throne, his form bending the very air around him. Then you will fall. She wakes to fire. Her apartment is ablaze with magic, flames not of heat but of shadow. They crawl along the walls, devouring light, turning photographs into ash. Justin bursts through the door, wand raised, spells flying, but the shadows only multiply, feeding on the energy. The city outside screams with chaos, sirens wail, lights flicker. Buildings crumble under invisible weight. The Shadow King is no longer bound to the dream. He has crossed, and in that moment Alex knows there is no time left for doubt. She grips her wand tighter, the wood glowing with a heat that is not fire but resolve. She steps into the storm, through the collapsing streets, her voice carrying, above the chaos, this ends with me. The shadows recoil, shrieking as if struck. The air splits with the sound of thunder, though no storm moves above. The ground shakes, the sky cracks, and from the heart of the city, a tear in reality opens wide, the throne of shadows bleeding into New York itself. The Shadow King emerges, vast and terrible, his eyes burning with the fury of worlds forgotten. Justin shouts her name, but she does not turn. This is her choice. This is her fate. The keeper stands between two worlds, and the weight of both presses down upon her shoulders. She does not run. She does not falter. For years, Alex Russo tried to escape magic. Now she embraces it. With every ounce of strength, with every word of power etched into her soul, she raises her wand. And the city holds its breath. The battle for everything begins.